Welcome to the Dressing Room Podcast with Arabiya News. This is a little bit different today. We've got some questions in from the fans, and yes, we are going to be answering them. Part one of this, we're going to go with
some questions that have been
some
sent
questions
in.
that's been sent in, because we're looking at this as a fans forum.
Yeah,
you know?
okay.
Like the fans, it's for the peoples. So look, there's a question that's been sent in. One of them is, if you could add or remove one rule from football, what would it be and why?
Oh, great question. Great question. Do you want to go first, Bridget?
Do you want to go first? I've got one.
I had a few ideas, really.
Go on, I like your idea. You always come up with some genius sometimes.
I wouldn't call it genius. I can't remember I heard this one about the playoffs,
Yeah.
about having the playoffs for the relegation.
What do you mean? Like, so...
So like,
So
you
it's
know,
like
have
a playoff.
for who's going up,
Right.
Have a playoff for who's going down.
Oh, wow.
That's
I
harsh.
know, but
Wow.
I can't remember I heard that, but I heard that one the other day. But another one would be,
That's a good
But
idea.
do you know what? That'd be
diving.
exciting.
That'll be
yeah,
exciting.
it would be.
Yeah.
Good.
So basically, for example, if you finish in the bottom four,
Say the bottom two
four.
go down.
Yeah, and then...
Yeah.
bottom two go
Third
down.
Or
and
you could
fourth.
do like bottom four playoff, or the bottom.
Or even better,
Yeah.
bottom two go down, yeah.
The next
but
four.
then the next four
Semi-final.
are in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Semi-final.
So Tottenham and Tottenham Man
And
United.
the
would have
losers
been
go
in
to the
there.
final.
Yeah.
The winners go on holiday. The losers got another game.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
they, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would
Be
be.
an interesting one, wouldn't it?
That would be
Be an
good.
interesting one. Another one was, you know, diving and all the theatrical stuff. It's a straight red, get off, and a week's wages.
Oh shit! It. So
Yeah, but
who's
stop
calling
it
the
all.
dive?
It
Who's
ruins
calling
the
the dive?
game.
Who's calling the dive?
Just have some expert who can tell he's made a meal of
We're
that.
supposed to have
send him
experts, and it's not working out for us.
off.
is
Get a
it?
proper expert in. You know, take all that out of
Yeah,
the game.
yeah,
Do you know, all the
yeah,
theatrical stuff.
Yeah,
or-
theatrical stuff.
Yeah,
rather than
theatrical,
diving.
rolling around and holding his ankle, but he's like rolled round 5 times. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know that
No,
much
I'm with
rolling
you.
around
I'm
on the
with you.
floor, mate.
You're old school.
I'm with you.
are.
No,
You're old
no.
school.
I'm with you. I'm going to put an asterisk on that, though, because I remember I got a penalty against Arsenal, right? And I know I dribbled in. I think I went past Lorem, and I know that I didn't dive, right? I know there was, but when I was looking at these angles, I think I've said this story before, and it was like where I was going to say I was moving at such great speed. But people didn't watch me play. No, that wasn't the case.
Got clipped.
But it was like my foot was on the ground as I turned my ankle, and it just clipped the back of my ankle, and it was enough to take me down. But you could barely see. You had to like zoom in. Like I wasn't making a meal about it, so for divings, I think can be.
You can tell if someone's made a
subjective.
meal of it.
But when they're rolling round,
Yeah.
and you know that that's not that.
Yeah. It's
So,
get
so
off.
basically,
Yeah,
you're
get
getting
off.
sent off for rolling around.
yeah.
That's harsh, isn't it?
No,
That's harsh.
No, but listen, we've all bad injuries, right, in our career, right? When you're hurt, you
don't
don't
roll
roll
around.
round.
No.
That's
But I
one
think-
sign. Look for that. If you a player of your team and you're watching your team and they go down and they don't move and they just hold their leg like that and they don't move.
Or is that
They're
one
hurt.
when they're down, they're jumping in the air? Go,
Oh, mate, there's some belters, isn't there?
Oh, mate, it does your head in. Or maybe like the ice hockey rule.
Scrap
I
it out.
don't even know if it's a rule. Yeah, but you know when there's like handbags?
Oh, yeah,
No,
yeah.
mate, you're having it.
Yeah.
Physio,
And then you're in the
physio
sin
comes
bin.
on.
It'd stop
Physio
it.
comes on
It'd
with
stop
boxing
it all,
gloves.
wouldn't it? It'd stop that.
Oh, imagine
yeah.
that. Physio comes on with boxing gloves, get you ready for a tear up.
Yeah.
That would be sick. That would be.
Yeah.
That would just cut out everything.
Yeah.
Separate the boys
then,
from the men.
And then
Yeah,
you bring
yeah.
the gloves on, right? And one of them goes, "No, I don't really want to do it."
Yeah.
Well, you shouldn't have done it in the first place, then, should you? It stopped people, and if you say
Yeah.
no, you get a yellow card.
Right, so
Do you know what?
So
That
we
makes
put
sense.
this
It is
is
stop,
quickly.
it is stop all the like little shovey handbag stuff, wouldn't it?
I like it.
This has quickly descended into a farce. No, but it would. It would.
It would.
If we had a magic wand. But on a serious
I'd
note,
like to see it.
I'd like to see it for one. There'll be some rich geezer out there who go, let's just try. They do baller leagues with these like
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
dopes
Go on
playing
then.
football. Do you know
give,
what I mean?
Give us a serious one then.
All right, I'll give you a serious one, right? I think they should scrap the transfer window.
God, old school.
Go old school, mate. Like if you want to
Anytime, any place.
anytime, any place. You could be playing for Spurs one week and you could be at Real Madrid the next week.
Oh, so you can transfer when you want.
Anytime.
Even better.
Yeah.
The player don't even get a say.
No, that's a bit harsh.
Well, that's what happens. That's what happens in the NBA.
Yeah, no.
Is it the NBA or when they get
all
they
American
get
sports
traded? You not got to say.
Mate, traded. When I was one of the things when I was in America, you speak to the lads, Coley, that like, and they're like, think about it, great, but think about the reality of it, right? There's a player, he's playing for Tampa Bay Rowdies, his missus is working at the local Specsavers.
Yeah.
His kids go to the local school. He comes into training one day and he goes,
Right,
mate, you're off to Kansas City. He's got like, it's like,
up and leave.
there's your plane ticket. So I've seen the actual reality of that. It's
You can't start
horrendous.
You can't start a
Harsh.
family.
I wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
You got to start a family after your career. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, mate.
That's what will
Bit
happen.
harsh.
It's a
Bit
bit harsh, Coley.
yeah.
Well, that's why they get paid the big bucks.
When I took when I was assistant manager and my mate was the manager of Tampa, we was trading, right? So you actually think about buying, and it's an open market, so you can sign whenever you wanted. And we were trying to find players from all over the world to come in and help us. We weren't
Great.
We weren't great, so we were trying to find players. And one of the things was, well, we can get rid of these lads, and these lads were my friends because I've been playing for them. Like, well, no, I'm not. They don't want to leave Tampa, even though they're not playing, and go to
It's a lovely place as well.
Do you know what I mean? So I was like, we had to make a moral decision and go, no, we can't. Even though it would have benefited us, because to get rid of three or four of them,
mate. I'd have got rid of them.
it would have. Yeah, I know you think that, but I know what you're like when you'll have to get him in the office and go.
Well, if there's money on the table for me, I'm getting rid of them.
You wouldn't, Coley. You wouldn't.
They gotta go.
You wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. I know you
I
wouldn't.
wouldn't. I'm just being harsh. Well, so that would be your one. Yeah?
That would be my one because I think
Open
it
window.
excites. Imagine how
No
exciting.
window, no window.
Imagine kids. Do you remember the days you used to wake up and like? And remember Andy Cole went to Man United.
Yeah.
And you're at school, and I was like wow,
Yeah, the
like,
surprise,
it could happen.
yeah.
Like,
The element of
any,
surprise.
any day you wake up and Mbappe could sign for your team.
Oh, imagine.
Do you know what I mean?
The deal just
The
got done.
excitement
No
for
one
the
knew
fans.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Actually,
Yeah,
that'd make
yeah.
it more exciting.
Yeah.
It's just random, innit?
Right, yeah.
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 And it might
Not a bad
actually
one,
make
that.
it actually might make it more interesting and fair for some teams as well. 'Cause there might be a player that's not playing regularly, but he's a fantastic, like Grealish,
Yeah.
for instance.
Jack.
He's not playing regularly, but then he could just do a trade.
Not going where you don't have to wait so
Don't
long.
have to wait
get out,
until,
yeah.
and then that element of like surprise is gone, and then he has to go to a certain
Yeah.
demographic team because it has to happen.
Yeah.
Like, with this one, it could go. Oh, they need a right winger or a left winger.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Pack your bags.
Yeah.
That'd be quite good.
I like that.
I do like that.
Okay.
My one would be. Phew. I haven't thought this one through, but I'm gonna go. Do you know when the referees, let it play on? Like the linesman lets it play on.
Yeah.
Like
what from a no
so
offsides?
there's you can blatantly see it's offside.
Yeah.
And he still lets it go.
Oh, everyone hates that colour.
Play
yeah.
on, and he crosses the ball, and then he blows up.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on a minute. That's like that in that window, there could have been a gap where there could have been an injury.
Yes.
Or sometimes when the referee watches it play, and there's a blatant foul there, and he lets it play on a little bit more, and then there's someone that clatters into someone, and that could have been a bad injury. I've seen it at Sunday League sides. They do practice this at Sunday League as well, and I've seen it with the youth as well. It's
Yeah.
mad. Like, how can you let it play on when? What are you practicing for?
Yeah.
What are these referees practicing for?
Yeah.
Like, they're not. I can understand it happened in the Premier League because Premier League is. There's a lot more on the line there, but you can't be doing that in the grassroots. Like, don't let that happen. Don't let it seep into the game.
Yeah.
Because it's messing up some boy's career.
Yeah.
Because you'd let it go on, and you should have just blew the whistle. And now this boy's injured, and he's done his ACL or something like that because it was something that was a blatant foul, and you could have just blew up right there and then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It'll kill it. Like, and that referee, the linesman one gets on my nerves as well because why you let it play on? Everyone can see it's offside. Why and then you blow up and everyone goes it's offside. 10 seconds later, then you play. Nah, come on, man. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
Is that a rant or was that a suggestion?
That was a rant.
That's
Is that a rant or a suggestion?
That's a rant.
First rant of the show.
First rant.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Some good suggestions. Some wild suggestions. I thought Bridgie takes the biscuit there.
He wants
a
people
tear
fighting.
up.
He wants a tear up.
No.
He wants him to have a roll around.
It is stop it all.
On the
That's what it is.
cobbles.
It is stop it all. Do you know what I mean?
It would stop it.
all.
Go on.
would.
All right then. All right.
What?
Which player? This ain't on the list, but which player who was like proper mouthy, right, and would give it all? But if that rule come into play, when there's the gloves gone, who would
Robbie Savage.
Who would absolutely melt?
Robbie Savage.
For Savage would 100%.
Oh,
Robbie
wow.
Savage.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd like a tear up with him?
No, I wouldn't like to tear him, but I think he'd melt.
Oh, do you reckon he'd
He's
melt?
a lovely
Yeah.
guy.
He's a lovely guy, you
I
know.
know he is, but he'd melt. I'm just saying.
As a footballer, though, like,
Sav's getting strays.
I got
Sorry.
nothing against him, mate.
Okay.
who else is there?
He's Welsh. Then
You
Welsh
brought it
boys
up.
like no.
Yeah,
I mean, go on then. You say it.
Why do you ask him?
Everything gets chucked at me these days.
Do you know why? Because you just say how it is. You're not
You
beating
brought
around
him
the bush.
up. I was just thinking.
I just
Oh,
thought.
God.
So
I
Robbie
said, do you know
Savage.
one guy you used to like wind me up a little
Go on.
bit? Gary Neville.
Yeah,
But I love Gary. I think
Yeah.
Gary's great. And
Yeah.
another one
Now I
who
do.
I met actually at Sam Palmer's wedding, Azo, Cesc. Lovely guy.
Yeah.
Got on really well with him.
but he
he
was
used
mouthy
he
back
used
in
to
the day.
annoy me to
Yeah.
play against. So good, obviously, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was quite annoying to play against. A great lad.
Great player. And a
Great
good,
player.
Good, I've
Good
only,
lad.
I've only seen
What
him a couple of
current
times.
what current player would you like to have a tear up with?
Oh,
That gets on your nerves now.
Don't really want to tear up.
I don't want to.
Do you know? I'll tell you.
He's
one.
obviously got someone in
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
Throw it at him.
No, I don't want to have a tear.
That's not what you just said.
I'll kill him.
I'll kill
Yeah,
him.
there's no need for it. But
You're such
Back
a
in the
you, Carl,
day-
you're not an aggressive
no,
person.
not back in the day. I'd have had to have a go with Bellas.
Yeah.
Bellas would definitely, because some of the abuse that he was shouting at people. And I think
always
he's
got on right
he's
with
a lovely
Bellas,
guy,
though.
though.
Yeah.
He's a lovely guy. But if I didn't know him, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. He's one of them players, and he like you want him on your team. You hate playing against him.
Oh, mate, he
Same
can
as
batter
Sav,
some
really.
people,
like,
can't he?
yeah.
He can batter some
I've heard him
people.
on the pitch.
There's one. Did you see the Jamie Carragher one?
No.
I think he must. I think it was Robbie Fowler or something.
Yeah.
I remember him telling the story the other day. I think Carragher must have shouted something at Robbie Fowler.
Yeah.
And Bellas looked round and went, "Mate, you couldn't even lace his boots." he would ruin people like that.
Oh, he does. He's
I think
so
it was Jamie
sharp.
Carragher telling the story.
Yeah, he's so sharp as well, isn't he?
Brilliant,
He
yeah.
couldn't even lace his boots. I can imagine him saying it as well. Like,
Yeah, he batters people.
Hey, what a player he was as
He
well.
He was
was,
a great player.
but I would. Today,
Go
I'm
on,
still
go
carrying
on.
on.
Sorry.
I'm not finished.
You're on one today.
But
He is on one.
I would talk about current player.
Yeah.
But until I saw this interview with him,
Go on.
yeah,
We
I
might get through 2 questions at this rate.
I saw this interview with him, and it opened me up my heart to him. I was like,
Go on.
I like this guy now. I
Go
love
on.
him. How
Go
could I
on.
have been so evil and have these evil thoughts?
Go on.
Cucurella, Cuckoo.
Yeah.
He was an annoying player.
Yes, yeah. He's
Do
in
you know what
that
it is?
bracket, isn't he?
He's
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that. He's in that bracket because he's hearty, isn't he? He's
Yeah,
full-blooded in the
Yeah.
game, and he was having a mare at one stage.
Yeah.
And then his hair's all flapping about. I think it's his hair. It's
Yeah,
his
yeah,
hair.
yeah, it's his
Do
hair.
you know what it is? It's not. I got nothing against the boy. It's just his hair.
Yeah.
Because
I don't mind his hair.
He's got big hair in it. I've got none.
Yeah.
So that's probably what it is. Deep down inside, I want his hair.
Yeah. I'd love his hair. I'd love his hair.
Yeah, so I'd like to have a tear up with him for his hair.
Hair on the line.
Yeah. He could make a good like company in it for
Yeah.
weave.
Yeah.
Like chop his hair off and sell
Who's
it.
he looks like this Marge Simpson's sisters. He's got that vibe, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got that. You know, they're always having this. Yeah.
If he dyed it blue, he'd definitely be a part of that Simpson gang.
Another one of the. He's in the bracket of top player like Craig Bellamy. You
Yeah.
want him on your
Want
team.
him on your team,
but
yeah.
against you, he would
Yeah.
wind you up. He'd be one of them. He'd probably get me sent off. And
Yeah, he would.
He's-
'Cause
yeah.
you go next to him and he'll be on the floor like that.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
his
yeah.
hair,
And then
it's his
he-
hair that does it, and
Yeah.
everyone think you've
Yeah.
pushed him a lot, but you haven't. He's just flicked his hair back.
and he's a good player as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
Should we go next one? This
Yeah.
is a good one for us because we got a little. The other day, our Michael Jackson, Bob Marley comparison
yeah,
got a
yeah.
lot. There was a lot of that. There's a lot of pushback on that. But what music? I'll come to you first, Bridgie. What music did you listen to before a game, and what are your favourite music artists now? I don't know who this is from, but it's a great question.
I'd probably say most of it in the dressing room was always a bit of hip hop garage. I would have
Yeah.
thought back in the day. I think
Yeah.
I would have said.
Yeah.
We loving it,
Sometimes
loving
a
it,
bit of
loving
the,
it.
some of the African lads always put a little bit on though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. they got some
They
tunes.
always put some good tunes on, some like good vibe tunes.
But there must be a song because there must be a song that takes you back to
Into
a
a
particular
frame of-
time because that's
yeah.
what music does to me. It takes me back.
To a frame,
Yeah.
a frame of mind.
Yeah. Or a particular
I don't
season.
think there is, to be honest.
I want to throw one at you from our time at Chelsea. Because we had the old CD and everyone had to choose a track.
Yeah.
And I'd never listened to Biggie before because
Oh, yeah, Biggie always got
I was
played.
strictly like guitar, like Oasis,
Acoustic.
I was,
Yeah.
I was like, and then so I sort of swerved all of that, but then Biggie, Juicy,
all
come
a
on,
dream.
that takes me back to the first season.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like just because
It was
it
all
was
a
something
dream.
like.
I used to read Word Up magazine.
It seemed to be like as soon as we won a game, bang, it was on.
Yeah.
Then I'm just there. I'm walking around. I could be anywhere in
Bowling.
I'm just like in
Bowling
my head. I'm
around.
in Compton.
Yeah.
Gold
Brilliant.
chains.
Do you know what? Yeah.
That was a great tune.
That was that was a great tune to like plug yourself into because the
Yeah.
thing about it is it's the words, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's like you've come a long way
The
basically.
struggle. Yeah.
it's
The
good.
teachers never used to believe in me, but look
Never
at me
amounted
now.
of it.
Look at me now. It's a
Yeah,
brilliant
yeah.
song.
Pictures on my wall.
Yeah, it's brilliant track.
Go on, Coley.
Yeah, I used to like funky house, innit?
Yeah.
Funky house. Make the body move. innit? Bit of garage, you know what I mean?
That was always played, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Always,
garage is
yeah.
like, that's like the go-to, innit?
Yeah.
Gets this upbeat, like, but I used to love a bit of Aerosmith.
Yes.
No,
Okay.
I didn't. I thought you. I was getting. I wanted a bit of reaction from you. So there, no,
No,
it
we
didn't
know
work.
you're cultured, mate.
Yeah.
We've seen you.
No, I
Listen,
didn't.
I've seen you in the mosh pit at Kasabian. I know you're
Yeah,
in.
that's
you're,
true.
Yeah.
That's
you're
true.
in the vibes.
Who are
There's
your
more to come.
favourite music artists now? I like a bit of everything, to be honest.
So
I
you're
do.
Bob. You're Bob,
Like,
man.
yeah, I know I do love Bob, but like this morning I would have listened. I had a bit of Oasis on, a bit of Stone Rose, a bit of Bob Marley, Marvin Gaye, General Levy,
That is.
Barrington Levy.
Barrington.
That's a
I
range.
I like a bit of everything, you know.
What,
a bit of
on one
dance
playlist?
music. I just end up just choosing something
Oh,
else.
okay.
You know, I got the train up, so long journey.
He's this guy.
Are
This
you
guy's
random?
open,
Are you
this
just
guy's
random?
open my.
Are you?
Yeah,
Was it
my
shuffle?
mind.
You put it on shuffle.
No, I don't really. I kind of pick a track and then I think I'm in the mood for this now.
Oh, is it?
Change up, yeah.
So you're
So there might
very-
be a bit of dance in there. Like my favourite DJ at the moment is Fortet. I love Fortet.
Yeah.
I think he's sick. You lot haven't been yet, but you're gonna
Gonna change my world.
you're gonna listen to him soon. Don't worry.
Funny,
Yeah, he's good.
it's funny to talk about like I picked up my daughter from a party the other day, sorry, and 3 of her friends were in the back, and she went, "Can I put the music on?" And I'm just like, "Go on then, babe," but it's just like she put this girl on, Billie Eilish, depressing. I was going, "Come on, let me like put
Let me lift it up a
Bit
bit.
of
Yeah.
upbeat
and lift it
music.
up, right?" So I put on some 90s rave classics. Car was bouncing.
Yeah, bounce
It
off
does,
I
it.
wanna
it?
give you devotion.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
tune. That's a tune, by the
Yeah.
way. That.
That's the same. That's the same. You know, like, see when you're in a car with your family, yeah, and you're driving,
Yeah.
and you're the selector, yeah, and you're like, do you know what? You're testing, so you use the mirror to
Yeah.
see the kids at the back,
Yeah.
and then you're like, okay, let me put this one on, see what they think.
Yeah.
Put it on, and then see if you get a reaction.
The DJ.
Man's DJing while driving, trying to get the crowd going in your car. Like, what are we doing here? No, so I done this the other day. Same thing. I've gone, do you know what? Let me put some Michael Jackson on.
Okay.
Mate,
Okay.
yeah? Beat It came on, right?
Yeah.
Them boys knew what was going on. They knew
Yeah,
every
yeah.
word. I didn't know they knew Michael Jackson like that.
Mate, classics are classics.
So, yeah, so look,
Can
I was quite
I
impressed.
don't know if I said this story the other week, but did I tell my youngest went on a camping thing with school, and in the evening they go right. Every one of the kids goes, "What music do you like?" And they'll be like, "Whatever." Right, so come to my 9-year-old, and he's got he says, "I said, what did you ask for? Did he just put on?" He went, "Dad, they didn't put my song on." I went, "What do you mean?" He went, "Well, I asked for cigarettes and alcohol."
What? Oh my God.
I was just like, I was gone.
No way.
I don't think they was expecting that.
No, there wasn't.
But he was gutted, like, because he
Yeah.
likes Oasis, because I have it on
Oh,
the
that's
car.
brilliant. That is brilliant.
Brilliant.
Do you want to go to the next question?
Yeah, I think we've...
Who is the best player ever in your position. So, what is your favorite position? So you saying you're a 10 or
I
you're
played 10.
a winner?
I played centre mid when I was coming through West Ham. Most of the time, centre mid, 10, right wing, left wing.
Anyone who's an attacking player with a bit of flair, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say, and then I'll probably get a lot of stick for this, but I think the player that I played in my era, I thought was the best, who was most similar to me. I'm not going to say I'm as good as him before anyone jumps on me, but he's
disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. But Iniesta was the best of my type of footballer I'd seen. He was just like, I love the way he manoeuvred the ball, controlled it. Sometimes he was deep. Sometimes he'd score a goal. Sometimes he had everything. And do you know what as well, Coley? When you play against him, I don't know if you played against him, Bridgie, but he was so strong. He was so strong. He had this ability to I don't know, these Latin players, they got it. And I loved him. And then so he was the best of my era, I think. And I think the best player, English player that I've ever seen in my position was Gaza. Mate, mate, I can remember the moment watching him thinking I'd love to do that.
Is Iniesta your type of player though? Would you say?
I don't know.
I'd say Gaza more than
maybe.
Iniesta. They're different, right?
Yeah, well, both attacking midfielders, but the game had changed. Gaza was Gaza was of a
eras.
different era, so the rhythm of the football was different. Iniesta, to do what he done in he's 5 years younger than me, 3-4 years younger than me. I think he's best. But Gaza, I think Gaza's the best player we've ever produced. I think.
What about Ronaldinho?
No.
Yeah,
England's
yeah,
ever
England,
produced.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, what about Ronaldinho?
Ronaldinho changed the game for me. Ronaldinho was the point in which he brought this street flair to the world. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember the game where
which I'd say, for me, I don't know, but that was more you.
Yeah.
What,
Ronaldinho, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, Ronaldinho maybe, yeah. Yeah, I love Ronaldinho.
Yeah, I'd say you're right.
I love Ronaldinho.
I'd go down the route.
It's
funny how people look at themselves as a player, isn't it? Well, that's quite interesting to hear you say that, because I would have you down more of that number 10 rather than because Iniesta
a bit deeper.
He's more getting the ball off.
Yeah,
sometimes he gets the ball off the centre half.
Yeah, but Carlton, for the first 4 years
But
of
it
my
might be
career,
the era.
I was doing. I remember going up against the great players like centre mid, like me and going up against Roy Keane or going up against Stevie or Patrick Vieira. When everyone
but
just
that's because of the
4-4-2.
formation. Yeah,
that's what I mean. So I wasn't
formation.
and then Ronaldinho was sort of he was like a left 10, wasn't he? He was just right, you stay out there, we'll deal with all this. Yeah. And so the game, that's what I'm saying. The game changed.
Yeah.
But different formation, different tactic, different styles.
Go on. So I think what this person's saying, best player ever in your position is the best player ever.
I'm number
similar
9.
to you, because number 9 can be Romario or it can be Erling Haaland. There's Suarez. There's lots of different ways of doing it. In your style of play.
My style of play.
Yeah, So you was a target man. Held the ball scored goals. Who was the best?
I used to love players like Batistuta.
Yeah.
And then you look at Batistuta, you look at Christian Vieri. Yeah, those type of players. Then you look at Les Ferdinand.
Sir Les.
Yeah, good player he was.
Les Ferdinand. And then even broader, you got to go to R9.
Yeah.
The Ronaldo. That's the pinnacle, isn't it?
He doesn't get enough respect for me, R9.
What? I think he does. I think he's... Because remember, his career wasn't as long as it should have been because of injury. And imagine a fit... the technology that's around today to keep players fit. Yeah. Imagine he had that at his disposal. Do you know what I mean? It's just he's a machine. He was a machine back then.
Are just unbelievable.
He made me fall in love with the number 9 role.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In the team, because he could do everything.
I even contemplated. No, his hair in the '98.
Oh, everyone did.
I was like, that's a bad haircut.
It's just
and he was so good.
He was so good. He's that's a cool haircut. It was a bad haircut, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Just bald and then just a triangle at the front.
That is mad.
What is that?
It's mad that kids are getting it done as well.
Mate,
My mum
kids
wouldn't
from
let me
different
do it.
races. That's the thing about it. Just little. What are you doing, bruh? And it's the summer holidays, and everyone's got R9 patch.
This is how footballers influence fashion, right? Me and my little brother wanted a rat's tail like Roberto Baggio, and I think I wanted the art, and my mum's just gone, no, I'm not paying the £5 to the barbers and letting them destroy you.
Do you know what I used to... Oh, mate, I swear down, yeah. There was one I wanted.
Go on.
And that's why I love Sir Les.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even Sol Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh, they had, yeah, it was like... It was bald, yeah, from here.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, there was like a little peak.
Yeah.
It was like a little peak that just really...
I remember.
Is it like a little flat? Is it like a little flat top?
Yeah, but it wasn't,
Yeah.
because it was like bald hair still.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then it was just like a little peak that just
Yeah.
came from there. I was like, I'm going to get that. I might have a chance if I get that. I want to be Soul. I want to be Les. Those guys brought that trim to fold.
Yeah.
And then we saw R9.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, my boys were rocking that before you, bruv. But they done it neater because they had a little fade. It faded in. It was a nice blend, you know what I mean? But yeah. Those are, so I haven't said the best player yet, and it's got to be, it's R9. R9 definitely is the best in my position.
Bridget?
Best in my... I think it's pretty easy, really. I think you got Ash, Carlos and Maldini.
Very different.
Yeah,
All
very
three of them.
different.
All three of them very different.
But all great at that position.
Who would you go with, though?
It's Carlos or Ash, isn't it, really?
Really?
Not
You're gonna
Maldini.
Wow, you just
Well, it's in terms of, like, the bombing forward.
Yeah.
The bombing forward. Don't get me wrong, Maldini, unbelievable.
Yeah,
but in terms of,
defensively.
like, unbelievable. But, like, in terms of, like, getting up and down, Ash and
Roberto. We'll go Roberto Carlos.
I think
though.
you kind of have, ain't you, because of, like,
His
the...
goals.
World Cup
just
winner and all
everything
that.
and all that, but Ash was unbelievable,
Yeah,
mate.
of course he
Like,
was.
I know I've heard of Carlos saying like how good Ash was. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone knows how good he is.
Do
but
you know
probably-
what? I've met him a few times, Carlos, on a few like
Yeah,
done
I've met him a
Soccer
couple of
Aid and
times.
done a few. He's been
Lovely guy, innit?
lovely
Yeah.
lovely
I think
man,
most Brazilians are.
mate. Yeah, like you know, like
Even R9 met him. He was
Yeah.
lovely as well.
You
Great-
came to Football
great lad.
Escapes
yeah, Football Escapes. I did with Roberto Carlos came.
with Bobby Zamora.
Yeah, shout out the boys. But he was such a and he tell you what, his daughter was joined in the she's what a good player she is as well. I think she's at Real Madrid, his daughter.
Is it?
Yeah, she's starting her career. But what a guy!
Yeah.
The only thing I would say with Paolo, I'd actually put Paolo Maldini above them both.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason I would be doing that is because I think Paolo, not only was one of the best left backs, when he went to centre half, he was one of the best centre halves in the world
Yeah.
as well. He was winning Champions Leagues at 39. So, but that's
You made me choose. For me, it's our choice.
all right.
but
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
It's our choice.
Sorry,
So hold on a
I put
minute.
3 up there.
I agree with Colin. I think I'd go with Paolo.
You gotta go with Paolo.
Yeah, I mean, none of you agreed with me, Iniesta, so I'm good. Right, Ronaldinho.
Well, Iniesta, you're not an Iniesta type of player. I don't know where you coming from, man.
love
you need
you,
to take
Andres.
that out of your head. You're more
Go on to the-
Ronaldinho, dude. Because I
Okay.
remember you was doing all these flicks and tricks. I know you
Yeah.
was doing it at the centre of the pitch. Remember
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
The final. Was it the
Yeah.
final? Was it semi-finals?
Final.
It was
Youth
shown
Cup.
in the cup. It was the FA Youth Cup.
Yeah.
And that, mate, that was the first time I laid eyes on you.
Yeah.
That sounds a little bit iffy, but that's when I saw
Yeah.
Joe Cole.
Yeah.
When the ball, there was one thing you done right. The ball come and you flicked it like that with like the inside of your. Was it the outside or was it?
Outside of the boot over the player's head, and then the Rabona on the half volley through ball.
My gosh,
Yeah.
that was beautiful.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
So that's when I saw Joe Cole. I was like, he's the best in the country. There's no one better than him.
I love the beauty of football. I do love it.
He was playing with so much imagination back then.
Now you'd seen where my mind goes now with podcasting. You know where it comes from, don't
I
you?
know where, proper.
Yeah. That's a man that's taken over his ADHD and made it work for him.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Here's one for you.
Go on.
Come to you first, Joe. Who was the toughest opponent you faced?
See, that's good. People always ask me this, and because I played in multiple different positions, it's.
I guess it's who you had your toughest game.
Yeah, toughest game. Patrick Vieira,
Yeah?
centre mid. Yeah, I was a mascot at times. Like he was just like I was 18. He was the best midfielder in the world at the time. And it was just like, you know, like you're just trying to football's problem solving, isn't it? And he was a problem.
A big problem.
It's a big problem. Like, I'm looking up at him like that, and I'm like, so I ended up like I'm trying to dribble
You weren't going to
past
solve him, man. No, you ain't going to solve that. That's a puzzle you cannot solve.
Yeah. He had this thing where he'd knock it past you, and he'd like,
Oh yeah, the hook.
the hook. Yeah, he hooked me, and I went home that night and turned the lights off and had a little word with myself about that's the best in the world. I've got, you know, and
Got a long way.
Got a long way to go. I've got to try and work it. But he was just brilliant, and what a man!
Yeah,
what
he's a lovely,
Great
humble
guy.
person.
humble
Sit
man.
with him, great guy.
Yeah, that
Really
is
nice
actually
guy.
true. Yeah, Patrick Vieira. I remember coming across him.
yeah,
Oh my gosh, at Highbury.
yeah. Mate,
He's
Highbury was
phenomenal.
even worse. It was a tight pitch. It was like it was designed
he's
for
so
him.
big, yeah, and he's on a tiny pitch,
Yeah.
and he just got around every blade of grass, and even he affected us as a striker. What was he doing on top of me?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I remember there's a picture of I was playing for Charlton on loan, and I remember that getting past him, but just got past him, and you can see he's sliding on the floor, right? And you can just see how big he's. I'm gonna get the picture out. We'll get it out, Chev. Yeah, there's like I'm wearing a yellow kit and I'm bombing, or I might be wearing the red. I don't know. I can't remember, but I just remember him.
Yeah.
He just looked evil, but he's sliding. He just looks like he wants to do damage.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a still photo, and you just look at it, you think, did he get away or not? I remember I did get away, by the way. I did get away, but just by the skin of my. It was like a cheetah.
Yeah.
Was it
Discovery Channel when you're watching the thing,
it's like a cheetah.
just missing.
Yeah, he's the cheetah.
Yeah.
I'm the gazelle. Yeah, I'm just getting away. Just.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the Wildlife Channel it would actually be quite interesting to see how many times I got away. I didn't get away much,
lion, and you're the buff.
mate. Yeah, I wasn't the buff back then. I was a gazelle.
You got any others?
Who
got
was
any
the
others?
toughest opponent you faced?
Me? Oh, mate, do you know what? I find it really hard to just pick one.
Cristiano.
No, look, I always mention Sean and Aaron Lennon
You
before.
have mentioned them,
just
right.
because of the speed of it. You know, another one you could chuck in there was Dyer. I think with Kieran Dyer, he was good engine. So like that was part of my game. His way up and down. He always stuck with it. Always worked hard. And he was a real good player. I think injuries.
Yeah, he was a good
Very
player.
intelligent.
He could have done a lot more, but he had a lot of injuries. I think, you know, he could have gone on to be even better if it wasn't for injuries.
definitely.
I think. And then obviously I've talked about Mahrez before, which is at the end of my career.
End of your career, yeah.
Who for me, I was just like, it was mad to just change a direction or is, you know, I couldn't put my finger on it. I don't know if it was. I was glad he went on to do really well,
Right.
Because the drop of the shoulder he had and the little chop, and I was just like, I couldn't figure out what was so good about this chop.
Yeah.
But he just had it in the bag.
Yeah, like a Chrissy Waddle type chop
Yeah,
where it
yeah.
wasn't. He used to do it like even doing it
It's
slower.
not even that quick. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It was mad.
Yeah.
And then there was one other player I'd probably give a mention to, who was when you would say tough, just horrible to play against. And he used to come over to my side all the time, Kevin Davis.
Very different style.
Yeah,
to
mate,
Riyad
because
Mahrez.
they'd stick the ball up on me, be up of his elbows, and do you know what he did? When he was
bolting.
when he had a bit of pace about him, and he's a lump, innit?
Yeah.
So when he's chasing you down, mate, you
feel
can
it.
feel it
Yeah.
coming.
It's like, big lads. You'd
What
hear
are you
him
gonna
like-
say there? Why did you? What would you know? Why did you look at me for?
He was about to say like the buffalo.
Like the
No,
buffalo.
what I was going to say was
Stampede.
Stampede.
I knew it.
He was like, and he'd
Yeah, I can feel
always
these type of players.
he'd always leave a bit on you as well.
This guy, I don't even know why he's come for me for. I didn't.
He's just a bit heavy-footed.
No,
Big guys.
I said I weigh like 14 stone. Well,
Well, you ain't
my fighting
it,
no, my
mate.
fighting weight,
My fighting weight.
my fighting weight was about 12 and a half, 13 stone.
Really?
Yeah, I was a big.
Why did you sound so heavy?
You weren't that heavy, were you? Quite slim.
Yeah, but I'm big boned. Got the bone density.
Do you know
bone
what?
density.
I got to say something here. I'm just reminded.
Here we go.
The only time I've ever seen this man angry, right? In Dubai, right? We was with Big Sam.
Oh, what happened?
You remember it when I tell you, right? And we was having a night out. And we had a Big Sam. We said go there and he said let our hair down. But we had to train one day, which was unusual, right?
Hell yeah.
So we come in from the night out, and you're
God.
like, sweating lads go, oh god, he's put a keep ball in, right? And I've no one, you know how strong he is, right?
Oh,
so
wow.
we've gone for the ball with him. I've gone, right, I'm gonna body him in. So I've gone bang, done him right, and wherever I think he's had a few drinks the night before, he couldn't break his fall, so he ate the grass.
Didn't put his hands down.
And I was like, and I'll just stop.
It's not true, Bridget. It's not true. It's not true. He's over egging this.
Nose has gone, wow, I've got his at the ground. And we used to have a groundsman called Dougie who had one of them diggers. You know the ones that used to put the holes in the ground?
Yeah.
And I said, I've made him like Dougie's digger.
Man. This guy, he's chatting bears. You're talking mess. It didn't work out like that. No. You're trying to say I was angry. I wasn't angry. I was laughing. This is what happened.
No, we last you.
A little bit upset. A little bit
I
upset.
won.
Not angry. A little bit
I was
upset.
chuffed for the lad. He's never taken a buffalo out before. I gave him his chance. He caught me while I was weak. No. This is what happened. So no, we did have a night out. It was all a bit delicate. I remember it. And the turf was a little bit. It wasn't steady.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I think they just laid it. So what happened was, like, you know, sometimes, Bridget, you're not expecting a barge. Like, we're playing keep ball with that. We're like, what are we doing here? So we're playing keep ball.
He was like that, Joe.
He lined me up. This guy lined me up. Yeah, I'm like feeling delicate. I'm thinking, nah, just touch and move, like pass it here, outside the boot, flicks and tricks. Carlton Cole flicks and tricks. Anyway, then this geezer from nowhere, I've just got the ball there, and I think we're going for it. And then he's just gone, and I'm like, whoa! And I'm like, I start falling. I'm thinking, what's that for? So this guy's come with violence. I'm not expecting it, so I could have embraced myself. Then get on this.
You were quite violent on the pitch, weren't you?
No, but there's no need for it, though, Bridgie. There was no need to do that. And then he had the audacity to laugh at me because I'm on the floor like that.
He had grass in his teeth.
Stop lying! Why are you spicing it up? And then obviously you got gnomes going, "Roar!"
It's always worse when all the lads start
because
chirping
they know
up.
they thought that was going to actually hurt me. And I was like, there was just no need for it. And he goes, look, Coley.
Did it hurt you a little bit?
It didn't.
No, it hurt you inside a
I was so
little
happy
bit.
for him. I was chuffed for the lad, mate. I was so happy for him that he got one up on a big player. 'Cause he's usually getting bullied. He's usually usually Dougie the digger.
We've seen it.
Mate,
Dougie's digger.
Dougie's digger.
Do you know what? I've named quite a few. You'd be up there as well with one of them. You definitely.
Oh God.
I've named quite a few, to be fair. It goes show that like this plays good players. I think it's good,
We have
good ones.
tough
I'll tell you
played
what
the
I
Premier
just
League for a
thought
lot
of
of time.
for West
Go on.
Ham. Trev Sinclair.
Trev, yeah.
Do you know what he had in the locker? He
I know
had
what
that
you're gonna
little
say.
bum thing.
Yeah.
Where
I
he
know.
just like bum you off.
He was
He was so good at it. And he shuffled round and stuff like that. He did, didn't he? He was so good at it though. Diarra had that in the locker as well.
Yeah, Diarra had that as
You
well.
get close to the sideline, he just do that with his bum and shuffle you away.
The
He's
Beyonce.
been
When they go
backing
to
up on you like that. Gets away you.
When they go to the gym, he's just doing pure glutes.
No, he was good, Trev. Trevor's a good player, mate.
Good
Best
He's a
twerker in
good
the
player.
village.
Right, before we finish, right? We've had a message from Adam Powney.
We've had a few from
We've had a
him.
few. Yeah, he wants you boys. He wants us to go to Benidorm and do karaoke. Possible, Adam. It's very possible.
Go on, ads.
What would your karaoke song be, Bridgie? Well,
I ain't got a clue, really. I think I'm rubbish at choosing a song. If it's the end of the night, bit of Oasis, Champagne Supernova,
bringing it
something
down,
like
bringing
that,
it home.
bringing it down.
Yeah.
But if not, you got to pick an upbeat one, in you, and you got to have everyone joining in.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
You were just in a karaoke bar the other day. What was it?
Oh no, I did loads, but some of the songs I wanted, they weren't on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Random.
Yeah, there's a bit of NWA going on in there.
Is it?
But they
Oh my
didn't have the
gosh.
song that I wanted on there. Yeah, I don't know. I have to have a think. What would you go for?
I'd go for.
It's choosing the right song in it for karaoke. It's going to get everyone joining.
Is
in.
it? No, I thought just for
think
yourself.
Mate, well,
Nah,
listen,
you
I'm
gotta
in
get
my
everyone
own
that you can
joining
sing.
in. I think
Rock and Roll Star.
Rock and Roll
Oasis.
Star's a good one.
I did it at my wedding. We had like an after party back at the hotel and karaoke, and it was like a little stage, lights. I thought, you know what I mean? I'm up there giving it all that.
Yeah.
People bouncing. I thought I was I thought I was in.
Yeah,
I thought it was on stage.
I'd probably an Oasis, Supersonic,
Yeah.
or a Wonder, but it's all it's the crowd that you're with as well. I think dictates what you end up choosing.
Play to the crowd.
Yeah.
I'm
What
going
about
a bit
you?
of reggae.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of
I reckon a bit of R. Kelly.
bit
You
of Garnet Silk.
Believe I Can Fly.
Yeah,
I've seen you do
maybe
that one. I've seen.
Maybe a little bit of Barrington. You know, I've done the Believe I
Do you
Can
know
Fly
what?
thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone knows an R. Kelly
What?
song.
What are you
But
trying to say?
no, he's cancelled, so we're not allowed to talk
The next
about
time
it.
we go to a festival, I wonder if they will have a karaoke tent.
I doubt it.
Really?
No.
I think that'd be a good idea, but there you go. Anyway,
We could go to karaoke bar.
that could be. We could put it on. Yeah.
Yeah.
The dressing room.
Barrington Levy. Yeah. What one you going for?
Nah, do you know what? There's loads, man.
Ain't no mountain high enough.
That'd get everyone singing.
That's a good one.
That'd get everyone
I
singing.
don't know what I'd
That'd get
sing.
everyone joining
Bit of
in.
Michael Jackson, maybe.
Yeah, Michael, that's a good shout.
I'll tell you what the happiest song
Wanna
is
be
in the
starting
world.
something.
The
You
happiest
got to
song
be
in the
starting
world.
something.
Jackie Wilson. Your love lifting me higher.
Yeah.
No, you can't not like that
Get
song.
everyone going, yeah. Get everyone going.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Which teammates do you still keep in touch with the most? It's a pretty obvious one.
We are yeah.
Yeah,
Wow,
we're here.
We're here, yeah.
Well, for
We're
me,
here.
it is probably the most, definitely.
Yeah.
You two are the
100%,
most.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
that's...
else do you keep in touch with?
Sean, maybe.
Sean, yeah, righty.
Sean Wright Phillips.
Jamie Lawrence, obviously, I still keep in contact
Guys I
with a
work
bit.
with Kevin Keane, Kenny Brown, Mark Noble,
It's a very...
It's
Steve Potts. You know, like all the West Ham bods.
Yeah, I think like going out wise as well, keeping
Socialising,
with just you
though,
guys, socialising,
different. Yeah.
you two definitely. Siddy a little bit every now and again. Siddy, we see Siddy, but
Everyone's
not as much.
so busy, aren't they? Like,
Yeah,
I ain't seen Crouchy.
ain't seen Crouch well, but he's one I'd stay in contact with a bit. Maybe Scotty Parker for a bit. But ain't seen him for a while. He's obviously got the manager's job. Glenn Johnson a little bit. Jimmy Bullard.
It's work. I'm
Yeah.
working
Work,
constantly,
yeah.
so I'm seeing Rio and Crouchy and Siddy and all the boys. So I'm constantly,
But
but socially,
socialising, yeah.
us three.
Us three, yeah.
I'd say
Definitely.
there's a couple of guys, you know, a couple of boys I played with in Tampa. Martin Patterson
Yeah.
even messaged me this week. So
I'm still in contact with my youth team. My year.
yeah.
I'm still in touch with them. We always get together Christmas.
nice.
Do you?
Yeah, always
That's
get together
good.
at Christmas down in Winchester.
That's nice,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, my boys from Lillishall, one of our lads,
you went to the
Stephen
wedding?
Torpy, got married the other day, and we
Yeah.
went to the wedding. So that was great because I ain't seen some of them boys for years. And do you know what's great about that is we were playing for England together under 16s, Coley, and some of us went and played football for a career. Some of us went and did other things. Like one of the lads is a teacher. One of the other lads is a scientist, which is mental.
A scientist.
Yeah,
What's he cooking up?
He's cooking up all sorts, mate. He's cooking up all sorts, mate. Yeah, like.
Well, do you ask? That's quite interesting. That.
Yeah, no, he's a
Biologist.
Cellular biologist. He's a professor. Like Ronnie Wright, his name. Ronnie, I'm sorry, mate. We had a good chat about this the other day about what you do, and I still don't know. But,
talking to the wrong person,
yeah,
though.
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
You're just like, yeah.
Yeah, it was-
cool story, bro.
Oh, no, you're killing him.
I can't even
I
know.
know, but just what's going on in his head. He's like,
yeah, but you know what? It was good to see the boys, like,
Yeah.
and what it is with football and your teammates is like wherever you are in the world, because you shared, it's such an intense thing to share.
yeah.
When you're playing football, it remains with you. So you go back, you go, I remember that game or that night out or this. Remember the manager said that.
Yeah.
It's because it's an unusual life you lead.
Yeah, because it's like, remember, your 20s, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like your teenage years and your 20s, that's the most important part in it of
Yeah.
life, really. If you get that right and you've had fun in it, then it's just like, the rest of life looks after itself. If you get that part right. Don't you think, though?
Yeah.
So like those are memories that we'll always have to get. Some people start later in life and start making memories.
Yeah.
And they've like had a boring life up to a point. And then the world just opens up. I'd like to be that person that had it late. I would find it boring now. Do you know what I mean? Like going out. That's why I prefer, if I'm like socialising, I prefer to be with my friends. We're on the same page now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Although, we all played for different clubs, came up a different way, but we're still on the same page.
Yeah.
Event we get to. So we us lot, we're a crazy bunch.
Yeah.
But I've met my gang, So I've met my people because you gravitate to each other eventually.
Yeah.
We talked about this before.
Yeah.
Good vibes.
Yeah, it's
Gravitate
good vibes
to
only.
your what's the
vibes.
word we used? Your
tribe?
tribe.
Yeah.
Tribe.
The tribe. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. No, nice, but that's a good question.
That was an obvious answer for us. Well, should we go on to the next one? What was your proudest moment from your career?
Go on, Coley.
Man, coming from where we come from, like, weren't from obviously for me, my family come over here, and it wasn't easy. You know what I mean? It wasn't easy. So to be chosen, I say that quite openly, to be chosen to be able to play football for a living, and make money to help my family out of the situation they found themselves in once they got over it, because my mum had 2-3 jobs. My uncle had 4 or 5 jobs. Like, he's just doing. So, not saying that they were struggling, but I never wanted for anything.
Yeah.
But to be able to give back to them eventually through a sport that I didn't even know I was going to be good at.
Yeah.
That's a blessing in its own. So my favourite and proudest moment is probably making my debut for Chelsea. Getting a contract that would secure my future and my family's as well. So those are the type of moments.
Did you appreciate that at the time, Coley, or is it something you've realised with hindsight? Like
hindsight, it's always hindsight, isn't it? Like when you're in the moment, you're just going with the flow, innit?
Yeah.
So when you just sit down and take a moment, and you realise how much you've done and how far you've come, and remembering that little boy on the estate that just used to go around causing trouble and mayhem, breaking windows. It was all worth it. And do you know what? When I talk to like my mum, so my mum's next door neighbour, like when my kids are playing and the ball goes over to in their garden, it's annoying, isn't it? So I always say to her that she used to always get I'm upset about it because the balls kept on going into her bushes, rose bushes and all that stuff. And then like my son obviously goes up to Hull and signs a scholar. So I had the privilege to peep over the fence and say to Mavis, her name is, say, listen, by the way, see that little boy that was kicking the ball? He's you ain't gonna worry about him no more. He's moved up to Hull to play football.
What did she say? Get him to hit the target.
Good coach you are, Coley.
See, when it Real Madrid, if it weren't coming in.
And I said, no, he's a centre half. That's why. Because there was goals in the garden, innit? And I was thinking of putting the net up so you could enjoy it. But it's just like. I peeped her. I said, "Listen," and she's going, "Oh, so it's all worth it then." Do you know what I mean? And I said, "Yeah, because he's trying his best, like, and he's been practicing breaking your fence, whatnot. But he's been practicing." She goes, "Oh, I'm so chuffed for him," and it's amazing. And that, just those little things like that makes you happy, and those are proud moments. You know, proud moments for myself anyway, and my career. I've got to say, making my debut definitely, because it's all come into fruition.
Yeah. Nice. That's beautiful.
What about you, mate?
Get a debut for like same all the same reasons for Coley, but the one time where first time I ever really got emotional on the pitch was when we won the league against Charlton. We'd already won it at Bolton the week before, so we'd had the Champions League game, and And I wasn't really like, although I'm quite an emotional guy, when I played football, it's sort of like, I never cried on the pitch or anything like that. But we won, we knew we were getting the trophy presented to us on that day. So we knew it was there, Sky cameras were there, a lot of family were there. And the game was won. And when the final whistle went, I just weird feeling like the feeling where it all sort of, although we'd won it last week, I realised it. And I looked over, and it was where I used to sit as a kid at Stamford Bridge, like that little to the right of the bench. It used to be the family enclosure, and there's all these like emotions coming back because like of wanting to be on the pitch and play for Chelsea, and just looking up at Kerry Dixon and just like the thing with your kid, you're like the idol, and I'm thinking, and for some reason I was like, as a young man, you didn't want anyone to see you crying, so I just sort of I was just like trying to, like everyone was like celebrating, high-fiving, I was just having a little moment by myself because I thought it would have been weird to cry then. People would be like, "What, have you hurt your toe or something?" But we won it last week. What are you talking about? Yeah. But my thing was because, and I wasn't expecting it, and it was just, I was there, and now I'm here, and now we're about to win the league, so it was pretty cool. You know what I mean? Yeah, yourself.
Pretty much on the same lines as you guys. I think it's not a moment. It's probably your debut. Debut for Southampton, debut for England. But then, I think for me, it's just having my mum and dad there the whole time. I don't think Dad ever missed a game. Dad would always travel, even if I thought I'm going to be in the stand, he'd always travel. I think it's having my mum and dad there, sister, and my mates always being able to come to the games and stuff. I think that's what I'm probably most proud of, just having them lot with me, I think.
That's beautiful, isn't it? It's a beautiful feeling. It is. But is that hindsight as well? Because at the time, was you appreciating it, or was you like say, "Oh, this is what I'm used to. This is what it is"?
Yeah.
Is it hindsight?
Do you know what I loved about it is like no matter what happened, no matter if it was a good game, no matter if it was a bad game, it was just there wasn't a lot of chat about it afterwards. It was always just get back to just being us having a laugh and
Did you?
There's always a support system there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, let's get onto that part though. I think that's a serious part.
Yeah.
Because like I always had, because my mum never used to go to games.
Really?
No,
why?
really.
Why? You didn't nervous? Some
I
mums.
I just don't think she was interested. She didn't understand it. She don't care about football like
But that's a beautiful thing as well, Coley. Like you're a boy.
Yeah.
She's not like.
She just wants me to be happy.
You want exactly. That's and do you know what? That's
what you want to do. That's what you want to do. Just make sure you're happy at doing it. So that's why I was always happy. Because I go home and I'm not speaking about football.
Yeah.
And the only person actually, my grandma, God bless her soul as well.
Yeah.
She was like basically my Sky Sports News.
Really?
She knew everything that was going on. My grandma.
Really?
But she couldn't get about. She had arthritis in her knees. So there's once in a while she used to come to Upton Park.
Okay.
But she never come Chelsea.
Really?
No, she didn't come Stamford Bridge. When she could walk better, but she actually, obviously, in her later days, she came to West Ham, and those are the bits I miss, like seeing my grandma in the stands. I remember our last game of the season, and we were playing, I think Middlesbrough, at home, and she was there in the stands, and I remember scoring the winner.
Yeah.
And then going over to my box in the corner and going, "No, grandma's for you." And I'm looking at her, pointing at her.
Oh, amazing!
And because she's not here no more, those are the moments that you appreciate that you done.
Yeah.
But that football's it's an emotional roller coaster. So you need these things to have that relationship with it. So now looking at you got your dad going to all the games and everything. My uncle went to most of my games as well. Well, all of them. Your dad used to go to all of yours. So that is what I miss.
Do you know what?
Because when you go back in the car, you're not even talking about the game.
Yeah, and do you know what? You don't realise. Obviously, we stop.
Yeah.
So for us, it's like it can be hard.
Yeah.
You don't realise it's what your family did every weekend.
Yeah,
they did that every weekend. You didn't
was a
think
routine.
about that at the time. It's something that they got to do every weekend together.
Do you know what?
So like now you're putting it like that, and then it all stops. And do you know what the hardest thing to do? Like, especially with my missus, Coley. I don't know if you guys find the same thing. It's like when we actually stop, you says, "No, it's enough now. We're done." And then like a year goes past, and then your missus looks at you, and you're looking at the TV and you're watching the games. She goes, "You should still be playing."
Yeah.
Did you ever get that?
Yeah.
No, you didn't get that.
No, but no.
Because I got that. I was like, you should still be playing.
I couldn't still play, that's for sure.
She would have said that. Then you got up and walked to the toilet. She's like, "No, you're right."
Sit back down. No, but honestly,
I know what you mean.
Like, not just your missus or anybody in your family that don't know the severity of what the pains that you go through, and you're going, "Are you sure you're going to quit now?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that is there's loads of stuff that go into it.
It's true, Geese. You know what as well? Like obviously I'm finishing my book. It's coming out in November, and we talk a lot about, open up a lot about family. My family's the most important thing to me in my life, obviously. And we talk about one thing I used to do with my dad. So before West Ham, he comes to every game, right? And still to this day, when I go broadcasting, people come up to me and go, like, they don't know he's passed and that. They'll say, "How's your dad?" I go, "Oh, I don't know." So and then they'll say, "Oh, so I'm so sorry," and they say he done this or he done that, and I'm like, because he used to go right, and any tickets that were lying around, I used to get hold of them, put them in my dad's name. So say like he needed him, one for my mum, one for him, and Carly sometimes if she went, and then I go like I put 7 in there. Do you know what I mean? Because they were always lying about, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And then he'd get there early, and I'd sometimes I'd give him like some boots or shirts or something. He used to love getting to the stadiums early, getting the tickets, and he'd just walk around. And like even if it was like it was like Everton or Villa or something, there'd be little kids on the street or we'd get chatting to some fellas in the pub and they wouldn't have a ticket, and he'd like give them a ticket, or he'd know the stewards because they used to let him in the car park, and he'd give them a few tickets and they'd give it to him. And he did it all the way through my career. So that acts of kindness end up, even to this day, he's been past 7-8 years, and I go to Middlesbrough or something, and people go, "I went to my first." I've had 2 kids come up to me and go, "I went to my first game because couldn't afford tickets because your dad gave me tickets."
Oh, wow.
I'm like,
that's wicked,
so
that.
like all of them little things. It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, he was great, your dad.
Yeah, no,
Great.
it's
He was a top man. He was.
Yeah.
Still, do you know what it is like? That's what football does, isn't it? Just brings back the memories of the good old days, man. And I absolutely love hearing those stories. I remember your dad. So I used to go to the games. I think we played up at I think it was up at West Brom or something. We were driving back, from the game, and I just remember. Did your dad have a 7 Series?
Yeah.
I knew it was you. I knew it was you. But I see him. You was in the passenger seat like a little kid, and he was driving. And I remember I was with my uncle in his car. Yeah. And I was like, that's Joey his dad. I just remember, like, because look, you're Big Joe Cole, isn't it?
Yeah,
like, you're a superstar. And then you just always had your dad driving you back home.
Mate,
you know what I mean? And I always used to say, I know it's on the motorway, I remember seeing it. And that's what endeared me to you, man. I just love it, man.
It's all about family. It's all about family. Right. If you could go back and relive one game from your career, which game would it be and why, Bridget?
I don't know, because would you change the game or go back to just relive the moment?
Good question.
Can
you change the game?
Well, can you? Well, hopefully you'd be able to change the game.
Let's go relive what's the best Wayne Bridge game?
Oh,
like,
I don't know.
You've come off the pitch and thought, I've had it right off there. There must be
moments.
Let's do two. Let's do relive or change.
To change, I would probably do the Monaco game.
Yeah.
When we lost in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
But then also people say, if we had beaten them to go on to win it, then Jose might not have ended up at the club.
What would you have changed about it?
The result.
No, but... what about your performance?
The result, mate, win.
What about your performance?
Not necessarily my performance. Maybe at the back post, but the back post for me was at the handball. The guy jumped up. He's got his hand on the post.
Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, at Stamford. He's hit his hand and gone in.
I can remember the game.
I remember it, but it was like just the result. But in terms of reliving moments, probably like real, like obviously you got your days you've talked about, but probably where I scored against Arsenal, which obviously was a great moment for me personally, and then another one which I'd probably love to relive was when we played Portsmouth. And I was just getting abused constantly, and then I ended up scoring, and it was 0-0. Oh, mate, I was just buzzing. You know, getting so much abuse, and then go and score, and I just sprinted across the pitch.
You do Adebayor?
Mate, it was probably like Adebayor, it's probably the quickest I run all game. But, mate, it was just buzzing with that. They're just two like.
Talk to me about.
Moments.
I was on the pitch in the Arsenal game when you scored. And I still don't think I've seen a happier footballer ever in my career. And I'm just like, it was like I can picture it. Like usually you can your memories.
I've seen it.
Usually memories fade right in your career, and you're sort of left with like bits of goal, and it's usually goals you scored because they're high emotional levels. But I can vividly picture that goal. And I can't remember anyone else's
There's so
goals.
many moments
I saw
in
on
that
TV
game
the other day.
I remember. So many moments I remember from that game. One where you squared it to Ida.
Oh, just before.
Yeah, just before. Ash cleared it off the line.
Yeah.
That was a moment.
Vividly.
Yeah, I remember it vividly.
Because it was like, it was 0-0 in the first leg, right?
Yeah.
So did we go 1-0 down? We did, didn't we?
1-0 down.
Up there. We went 1-0 down and it went to 1-1.
Lamps got the equaliser.
Macca
had a shot.
So they need to score, right? And it was like
loads of moments
loads
in
of
that
Ash
game.
Off
I remember Duffer created it, hit the post, or just dragged it wide. Loads of little moments in that game I remember.
It's mad. Just before Ida missed the chance, Ida never misses. He was a great finisher. But then when you scored the goal, I mean, it's like, you know, when in moments when the whole stadium, the whole thing just slows down. It seemed like it felt like you were standing in front of goal for a minute. And then you just slotted it.
It's because Ida kind of
lovely.
Ida put it on a plate, so the ball was kind of sat there for a couple of seconds as I run onto it.
Yeah, but to hit it so sweet, like a
Side
daisy
knitting.
cutter, like a daisy cutter, wasn't it? It was like,
into the corner.
Have you ever scored a goal like that? Like, was you
I didn't score many. I must have only scored about 6.
in training though? Like in training, have you?
I've
was you
scored
known
more in
for?
training. I hope I have. I definitely have.
But see the way that goal went in.
Yeah.
Like the
He was
the
a
But
way
there was
finisher.
nothing else to really do though, because it was the only place to really put it unless you're going to try and smash it in the top corner. Do you know, it just set up so nicely for me, right into my stride. Like I'd have nutmegged someone. I think he put it on a plate for me. Really,
That's unbelievable.
And the whole place, the whole Highbury just went.
It's like
Just see
deflation.
Bridgie
I was
running.
just straight into the crowd.
It was
Oh
like,
mate, it was brilliant.
yeah,
No, it's quality.
Yeah, so you'd live that one back.
Yeah.
That moment.
Well,
All
I've
the
seen you
Pompey
happy,
one.
and I saw you on TV happy, man. You were so happy.
Last time I saw him,
That's
was
do
at
you
night
know
out.
what? Do you know what? And that's why the other day, obviously a while ago, the PSG final when the young lad come on. Oh, what was it? Forgotten his name.
yeah,
Young
I know.
18-year-old.
Yeah, Doué.
Mate, he's happy. Not
Doué,
Doué,
the
not
other
Doué.
one,
The
the
young
other
lad.
one.
Come on, I
Yeah.
can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Mate, the happiness in his face, I
Yeah.
could just feel it. Made me feel so happy
Yeah,
for him.
it's great. Yeah, because you know that feeling.
Yeah.
You know that feeling. Oh, mate.
What about you two?
Go on, Coley. What about you? What game would you relive?
I've got two.
Go on, Kate.
To relive, I'd love to relive my first goal for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Up at Middlesbrough Riverside.
Okay. Yeah.
I had a hell of a game.
Is it like
It was
the emotion of scoring your? That's your first professional goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing like it.
No,
Nothing
but the
like
whole
it.
I had a great game.
Did you?
Like I'm playing Premier League.
Yeah.
Didn't know I was supposed to be starting from, because like it just got sprung on me that I'm starting,
Right. Okay.
and then I'm playing up front with Zola all of a sudden.
I would have done that if I'm managing you now, knowing
Yeah.
you as I know you as a young kid. I would have done that. As
Yeah.
well. I think the manager done that on purpose.
No, he didn't.
No.
I think Ida was injured and he couldn't start the game.
Right.
So and Hasselbank got injured in the warm up.
Right. Okay.
So
You-
I was the only one, none the wiser. So I had to start, and I was
Right.
like, okay, I'm up front with Zola.
Yeah,
It's walk in the park, innit? I do this every week. And yeah, first goal of the game, Bosch off the crossbar. You know, when it comes off the crossbar
Off
with
the
a header,
Denver, yeah.
with a header
Oh,
off the crossbar and in, and I'm like,
What's the
whoa.
celebration?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I just went. Oh, I was surprised.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know what to do for my first
No.
goal. I think I just jumped up and down on the spot.
exactly. Remember those celebrations they used to do back in the day when they used to go up there with one hand? Yeah!
I think that's what I did.
Yeah! What's that?
Proper creepy,
You
isn't
gotta
it?
do
bad,
more than you gotta
so
do so bad, innit? Like you have more to the look.
You should have had one. You were
I
centre
think
forward.
I done a cartwheel.
Did you? Oh
definitely
my,
done a
that must have been
cartwheel.
the stiffest
Yeah.
cartwheel.
Right. I went for the backflip, so I was gonna do a cartwheel and a
Backflip.
backflip.
Ooh,
But
no.
I remember I've never done a backflip before. So I stopped after the cartwheel. But do you know what? I'd have broken my leg or my neck, yeah, doing the cartwheel.
First time you were going to do a backflip was after you scored your goal.
Because I didn't know what to do. So I was thinking, when I see someone...
Don't do something you
Yeah.
ain't done before.
Yeah, that's true. But but do you know what it is on top of that, right?
Go on.
So that would be like that moment
Yeah.
I'd love to relive because that feeling. And then I went on to have a great game as well.
Yeah.
And I could have got another goal too. It's like
Yeah.
it would have been a fantastic debut all around. But it was a fantastic debut. I would say the one I would like to I could change
Yeah.
that happened in the game
Yeah.
is my England debut. When I was
away?
Spain away.
We've talked about this.
Bex put me through.
Yeah.
When I've gone around Pepe Reina,
Yeah.
and then I remember I told you
Yeah,
the
yeah,
guy
yeah,
from
yeah.
I haven't-
Lead off line.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I thought I'd scored.
Yeah.
What I would change is I would have taken the touch when Bex put me through, the touch, and then slow it past him straight away.
Yeah, yeah,
Instead
yeah.
of going round him and then doing
Right.
that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
if I'd have known that
It's
geezer was
mad.
coming from the right hand side, I wouldn't have done that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
would have just touched it first and then
Yeah,
just finished it early.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
yeah.
I'd done that same touch, I'd done that same thing up at Old Trafford later on in my career
Yeah.
when in my head it was, I'm not going to go around De Gea here.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it early because I had that programmed in my
Yeah,
head
yeah,
from
yeah,
my
yeah.
thing, and I'd never scored at Old Trafford before, so this is going to be my first goal at Old Trafford. So I'd love to just get it done. So what I'd done, touched it, waited just a little bit, more ice cold,
Yeah.
as you get taught,
Yeah.
slowed it through his legs because he
Nice.
was like that. He was open.
As soon as that's the way, innit? So
I was
how many
like,
times you see it through the legs?
because we always get taught closer to the goalkeeper's legs as possible if you're 1-on-1. Mm-hmm. So because they can't, because they want to dive, don't they?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
want to,
yeah,
but if you
yeah.
go through his legs, he's not expecting that.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you get accurate enough, you got to be accurate and get through his legs, then Quid's in a goal.
Quids him.
Do you know who's
But I
good
wish I could have done that for
Ain't
that
that
game.
funny? Like I have moments like that where you think I could have put that one there, or I could have passed it there, or in games, but it's gone.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Yeah.
It's mad. Myself, I'd say the game I most enjoyed.
I wonder if I can
Was-
guess what it is.
No, you
Who's
won't.
it?
You
Oh,
won't.
no?
You won't. You
Okay.
won't. You won't. It's the Chelsea versus Barcelona game in the
Oh,
Champions
okay.
League.
Yeah.
Because I think first of all, I had a great game, and I've never heard Stamford Bridge like that. You had Ronaldinho and Messi and
Was that the game when Ronaldinho done the toe
punt,
punt?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was there.
yeah. I just loved that game. I just remember thinking the sound that game, the anticipation and everything in the air and the way it finished, with winning the goal late on and hanging on. It was just, I love that. And the game I would change is I'd go and change obviously the Champions League final against Man United at Moscow. And what I would change is, again, similar to you, I've run off Evra. Someone slipped me in. Rio's coming out, and I've spoke to him about it, and I've headed it, and he's come in and kneed me in the head in the box, and for some reason I've not gone down because I think I thought the ball's dropped in front of the goal, so I thought I'm going to score. Do you know what I mean? I don't. You sort of make a split decision. If I'd have gone down, the ref sends him off and it's a penalty to us, and we probably go and win the game. So that moments like that in your career, you'd love to.
That
go
part of
back and change.
refereeing annoys me.
Yeah, I know. I've
That's
tried
what I
to
mean.
do
Don't
the
go
right
down,
thing.
you're not gonna
you
get
have
the
to
free
get
kick.
things like that right to take out
Yeah.
all the diving and theatrical stuff, basically. Yeah.
You look like an old school referee today.
No, yeah. To be
you
fair,
know what?
Mate, I was in a rush as well getting ready today. Mate. I quite like this song.
I like it though. I like it.
Keith Hackett.
Beckenbauer. I like it though. It's nice.
Okay.
I would wear it.
Where are we going now then?
I'm
Chaps?
going. Okay, so
Another question sent in. Go on.
So should we go?
Last one, boys.
What teammate was the funniest and why? Was it personality, jokes, or pranks, etc.?
Ooh. Go on.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I'd say one that just stands out for me straight away is Jimmy Bullard.
Yeah, I'll play with Jimmy.
He cracked me up. Yeah, just even his
Where did you
first
play
thing.
with Jimmy? Fulham.
I was at Fulham for a little bit, but it's the England bit for me.
Oh, God, yeah.
When he just turned up and just called Capello
Chaos.
Postman Pat straight away, mate. He's just hilarious, mate. He's just funny, isn't he?
You can't say
do you
that,
remember
though.
the thing when he used to have to do the filming before
Oh,
before
yeah,
you used
for
to do like the
Premier League,
headshots or the little video
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah,
and he's
yeah,
putting
yeah.
out his
Oh,
G
yeah.
like this.
And he's
It's
walking
just
like
funny, mate. And there's a moment which
a funny
mate,
person.
this is probably more laughing at him than with him was when, and he's told this story of we're of England and he hadn't got on the pitch yet, has he?
Yeah.
But they had done all the subs.
Yeah.
And I think it was Crouch or Bentley, I can't remember. Bentley's another character.
Oh,
He's
he's
funny.
another
He
one,
cracks him
yeah.
up. We're like, oh, Jim, go on, go and warm up in front of the manager, do
Yeah.
some stretching and everything. get on the pitch and that. But mate, they'd already made all the subs. So he's straight down there, stretching off in front of him, doing some sprints.
You're not getting on,
I'm
mate.
cracking up. He didn't realise till he came back up.
And he's got, what was his? Because I know his face as well.
Man, this is
Oh,
face. You know what I mean? Just the face he pulls at people, like the Duncan Ferguson thing, mate. He's just hilarious, Jimmy.
brilliant,
He's
isn't
a
he?
character.
Have you been on his pod yet, FC Bullard?
I ain't been on it yet, but I need to go on it because he's a Fenners. They asked me, I couldn't make it.
I've been on there. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
No, he's
Feathers
funny,
as
man.
well.
Yeah.
They're great people as well. But
I'd say,
but he's a good listener. He's a great listener of our pod. He's always commenting.
yeah,
Really?
mate, he's
Yeah, he's
great.
always commenting.
Do you know what? He's a great as much as he is funny.
It's a great
Mate,
supporter of things.
he's
man.
when he puts his mind something, or like he can be serious. He's on it. Like
Yeah.
with football, he was a good footballer.
Yeah.
Snooker, mate, he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Snooker, I played
Golf.
with him the other day. Golf. He's into his fishing.
Probably good at
He's
darts.
Great lad.
Probably good at darts as
Yeah, he
well. It's
probably
just one
is,
of
to
them
be
ones,
fair.
isn't it?
Hey, I played.
Pub sports.
Yeah.
I
Quick
played with
one.
him at West Ham. Go on, carry on.
Personally, I've got one more.
Go on.
Mate, he used to make me smile every time I see him. Jeremy.
Yeah.
Mate,
Prof.
and he used to
Prof.
make me laugh all
Yeah.
the time, mate.
Professor Jerry.
Whenever he made
Mush
a point,
mush.
he done that.
Mush mush.
He's now. We see him at the World Cup. In
Yeah,
He's a
he did.
serious man in football.
Mate, he looked
Yeah,
well. He
yeah.
looked really well.
Yeah.
He's
Serious
a
man
great
in
lad.
football, bro.
Great lad.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
does
His-
something
his
for
personality.
African football, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a great lad. He was doing. He's working for African football. He's also the what's the word? The World Footballer Players Union.
Oh,
So
yeah?
he's got this important role he plays, and I wouldn't want it. He's a good human being, so you want someone like that in that type of role.
definitely.
I need him, yeah. He's a
He's
great
good.
human being, yeah.
Well, I played with Jimmy. Jimmy at West Ham. So people obviously didn't. I think he made his debut at West Ham. But he didn't. He had to leave, mate. Lunatic.
That's-
Just like I made the mistake one day. I think I've said this story before, but maybe excuse me if I have. I made the mistake one day at West Ham at Chad Relief was we had a fire extinguisher, and I had it just as you come out of the changing room, and he was getting changed, and and I've just pinged it, like I've got it, and he's footballers, fire extinguishers are just like water
We used to
pistols
love,
for us,
we
isn't
used
it?
to
Right?
love them.
Got it. If there was ever a fire in Chad Relief, mate, it's
it's
burning down.
down.
There was never anything in it, so I've just squirted it in his face, like laughed, gone off, thinking, it might get me once, like every time, like for weeks
didn't
and months
stop.
afterwards, he's like, like a kid, like
Waiting.
when
Is this Jimmy?
Jimmy,
Yeah, he's waiting.
and he's
What's
like,
next?
I walk into a room. It got to the point with Chad Relief, every room I'm going in, I'm like that.
You called it on.
I've called it on. Worst mistake ever.
Funniest
just
person. Yeah, that's a great person. He's a great personality.
He's a good lad. Funny,
Good lad.
man.
So
He's a great
Jimmy,
personality.
Johnny Moncur, Razor Ruddock.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It was like
characters.
we were lucky enough. We sort of the
the
era before when it was like
loads.
complete
Yeah.
wildness. You know what I
Wildness.
mean?
Beasts.
Yeah.
Just running around the Premier League. Causing mayhem.
Absolutely. So
What about you, Carl?
Johnny Moncur.
go on.
So Johnny Moncur was so wild, right? I remember it was Glenn Roeder put him on, and it was like and I remember someone saying to me, he's on the bench, Johnny, whatever you do, don't get booked, like because Johnny be like, he's just, and Johnny, yeah, gaffer, yeah, straight on, first tackle, smashes some Spurs player and just goes up to the West Ham fans.
Wow.
And the gaffer's like,
what's going on?
It was him or Jimmy.
Can't be celebrating.
Yeah.
Like it's a goal.
It was him or Jimmy, I think. They were in a game and they were getting battered, and just as they were about to take kick-off, they started singing, "We got to get through this." We got to get through
Johnny, Johnny.
Like Daniel Bedingfield.
Yeah,
leads
we gotta
away.
get through this.
Oh,
Oh, mate.
That was brilliant.
About you, Carlton.
Personality jokes. I don't know. Look, football. It's not like we're talking about Jimmy. But
Yeah.
I just feel what goes on in my brain. I just find everything funny anyway.
that's true.
So
Everyone's
funny to me.
To be fair, he could be up there with the funniest. He's up there. Carlton's definitely up there. And we not give him a mention.
No.
Not for
Dictionary.
pranks, just for jokes and funniness.
Yeah,
In
the
the dictionary,
personality. No.
under the word vibes, there should be
Yeah.
a picture of you.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
But do you know what? Who I played with, that's quite funny. There's loads, man. Like Nobes is quite funny, isn't he? He was quite
Nobes
funny.
is hilarious, mate, because I can't take him seriously. Like, I've seen Nobes since he was like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And then when I went back to West Ham when I was like 31, 32, he's running the club. And he walks around like he's got this strut about him.
I
Like,
know.
like,
I just find it
like
hilarious.
this sort of like presidential way. I'm like, relax yourself. From Canning Town, you. But Nobes is funny.
Nobes
Nobes
is
is funny.
quite funny.
He's got
He's
his
just naturally a
one-liners.
funny
His
person.
one-liners.
Yeah, he's got one-liners, isn't he?
Yeah.
Who else has I've got there? There's like loads of funny people that I've played with. I just can't think of them now. It's just like I just find the world funny anyway.
Yeah, the world is funny.
Yeah, it's just how you look at it.
Look,
I
we're
don't
doing
look
this
at
for a
one-
living.
Yeah, exactly. Mate, I'm on radio.
That's funny.
That's funny in itself. Geezer can't even string two
brilliant.
words together. I'm still here talking for a living, didn't I? Gosh. But yeah, that's how it works.
People have to start sending some more questions.
I've
I've
enjoyed this.
Definitely send a load more, and I like doing this.
I think we should finish with one more, Geese. I think we should
All right, go on
because I think this is good because we got a broad range of people listening to us, and some of them are young footballers.
He's got to
He
get home
does what he
here.
wants. He
No,
does
sorry.
what he
He
wants.
does what
Sorry.
he wants. This geezer's got a
No,
family to attend,
we like-
and he wants to just do one more question.
We like to leave people with like some
good
help.
advice.
Some help. What is the best piece of advice you've received as a young player from a senior player?
Didn't get any.
No. Right. Thanks. Well, thanks for that, Bridget.
I didn't get any.
Really?
No, really.
Because they was all coming to you for advice because how good he was.
Same.
No, I just didn't really get much. There's nothing that really stands out. Obviously I had Glenn Oddle that.
Oh, let's not go down that route. I don't want to
And
hear
I think
about
you've
it
got
no
the
more.
players around me to kind of believe in myself a little bit more. But it's like when I try and speak to my kids now about the mental side of the game and not worrying about mistakes and stuff, and have a proper chat with them about that side of things. 'Cause obviously you don't try things and stuff like that. It's going to hold you back. Don't you see? I hate seeing it when I can see someone's mind hold them back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
That's what
that's what I
gets
try
on
and
my
that's what I'd
nerves.
like to give to
Yeah.
to a younger player coming through is that kind of
Yeah.
that's kind of advice. Just believe in yourself. It's how you react to mistake. You give the ball away, get after it because you got to try things.
That is
you?
the best way to look at it. It's how you react after a mistake. Because you're going to make a mistake.
I know. Otherwise, foot would be boring.
Yeah,
Do you know
you've
what I
got
mean?
loads
So,
of mistakes.
I wouldn't say there's anything that stands out for me
No.
advice-wise.
Yeah, no, that's a good piece of advice.
Yeah.
How you react after a mistake or a setback. I would say the best piece of advice when I first broke into Chelsea's
From
first
Zola?
team. Yes,
I
from
know, yeah.
Zola. He basically told me, why don't you look after yourself a little bit more? You need to be in the gym every day. And I was like, gym? What's that? The Buffaloes don't go to the gym, do they? No, but he brought me into the gym. He told me, listen, if you stay in the gym, you have a long career.
You must have had a week off it that week before Dubai when I put you on the
I did know that. I can't get. the guy's still buzzing off that 10 years later.
He buzzes off you a lot, doesn't he?
What is going on here?
He buzzes off you quite a lot.
How can he buzz off that 10 years later? I forgot about it. This guy's still Dougie in the digger. Was it Dougie the digger?
Dougie's digger.
Dougie's digger, mate. Nah. But yeah, I'll just say, listen, look after your body. Your body's a temple.
Yeah.
As a player, you need to, and what you eat as well. I think nutrition's massive for a young player. I think the best, and
for human beings. Human beings.
Yeah, because you are what you eat, as they say.
Yes, yes,
you know?
yes.
Get him started.
No, you've got to eat well, man.
You got to eat well.
People, please eat
You
well.
do.
Get rid of that processed food as best you can. Anyway,
Well, you must have a good one
I
because
have,
you wanted to answer the
this.
question.
No, because I think it's important.
Yeah,
you wanted this. You lined it up.
No,
Take the stage then.
No, all right, no, because we saw Tony.
No, he's serious, mate. He's serious.
No, because
His
I like
pen's
to.
out and everything. Look, he is serious. He's
No,
pointing.
because Tony Cotty in a car in the. We spoke to him the other day. We done that thing with him, and I told him. He told me this, and it resonated with me. He said to me, and it's simple. He said, He said to me, we're so lucky to be footballers. Make sure you enjoy it every single day. And I tried to do that best I could. You know what I mean? Because it's injuries, lack of form, blah blah blah. Things don't go well, and some good times as well. But mate, just. Kids, if you're out there, you're playing football.
Got to enjoy it.
Enjoy yourself. Please do. And I think that's a lovely way to end the podcast. You've been listening to The Dressing Room with Our Arabiya News.